Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I am so excited to have my brother with me today, Tracey T. Taylor. We've been going to the same church for a long time, and he certainly has a moving testimony to tell you guys. He'll have you laughing one minute and almost crying the next minute, but he's very transparent. He doesn't mind telling his testimony. So I'd like to say today, Tracey, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I think I was here a couple of years back, but I'm blessed to come back again and do the broadcast and tell my story.
Oh yeah. And you certainly do have a story. First of all, you do. First of all, I want you to look in your camera and tell people a little bit about yourself.
All right. Tracey T. Taylor. I'm originally from Bloomfield. I live off of Blue Hills, so I'm a Bloomfield Hartford kid because my mom lived right on the line on Brookline, so I'm a Bloomfield Hartford kid. Went to school in Bloomfield, but most of my friends are Hartford, so that's important to the story too. I've worked in human services for about 40 years. I've worked at every place you can name, from Oak Hill to Long Lane to Craig to East Hartford Board of Ed to, I just recently was working at the American School for the Deaf. So now I'm kind of like semi-retired and kind of like a business owner. So that's what I'm doing now. But life is good. I'm saved, and I'm looking forward to what 60 has to bring. I'm new to 60. You've been in for a minute. But
I'm about to hit, this year I'll be 70.
That's crazy. You look younger than me.
I'll be 70. So before we go into your testimony, which is very powerful, tell us a little bit about the beautiful lady that stands by your side, that y'all drove me out to the car on Sunday to buy some candles. Yeah,
yes,
which is wonderful.
I've been married for 2.5 years. It'll be 3 years in August, to my beautiful wife, Janera Taylor. We've been married for 2.5 years. We live in Hartford, and she works and I don't work, and she has a candle business. So if you ever see me around, you need a candle, or you need an air freshener, let me know. We got it. And the name of the company is Synthfully Tailored.
And that Taylor
is my last name.
You tailor it, but you guys use it in a way that is tailored, but you can tailor it to what you like.
Right. So if we have something that she has a base group of candles, but if you have a smell that you like, she will tailor one to what you want. For a little additional cost, she'll tailor one for you. So that's why they're Synthfully Tailored. Yeah.
Now there's somebody that I didn't meet, but I saw a face on Facebook. Your grandbaby. My
grandbaby, an integral part of my life. My grandbaby. She's a handful. She's 2 now. She's 3. She just turned 3 in January, and she's very smart. She's very active, and she believes in the Lord.
What did she call you, Papa?
Yeah, she called me Papa. Yeah, and then she'll call me Tracey Taylor. Then she'll call me Grandpa. You my grandpa. Papa, you my grandpa. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So she's very, very smart, and she's very, and I've learned a lot from her. I learned you have to watch what you say. I learned that, you have to put the right things in her,
Yeah.
Because I know I'm fighting a battle with, like the parental guidance that she gets. So we're fighting that battle. So I have to be very prayerful to fight some of the things that go on, generational curses that I see and stuff like that. So she keeps me in prayer, and we stay in prayer. And this morning we prayed before she went to school. And then she says, I'm taking God with me to school. I said, where you keeping him? In your pocket? She said, no, I got him in my heart, Grandpa. Okay. So you're good to go.
God.
You're good to go. So
when I saw the picture of you guys, you could just see it just in the picture. I've never met her.
Yeah.
But you could just see the love in the picture.
It's funny that I was doing a video. I was going to do a video. So she came in the house, and her grandmother's at the top of the stairs. Hi, I love you. Hi, how was your day? She walked right up to the top of the stairs and walked past and ran to me, Papa, Papa, Papa.
Oh.
Grandmother's like, what about me? She was like, no, Papa. I said, go see your grandmother.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so she loves her. I don't know what it is. She cannot leave me alone. Whenever I'm sitting, she's got to be crawling on me. She's got to be jumping on me. But it's a beautiful thing.
You can see the pride all in your face when you talk about her. Like I said, even when I saw the pictures on Facebook.
That's one of 4 grandkids. I have 4 grandkids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my oldest one, I don't know if you remember, Tiana.
Okay.
Yeah, Tiana's 20 now. She's at UConn.
Wow.
She's doing very well. She was on the dean list at UConn. She's doing very, 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 very good. And my other grandkids are very smart too.
Okay.
Very smart, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I know you're proud.
Yes, I am.
Now, I want to talk about someone, your mom.
Yes.
Annie Maud Taylor.
Yes.
And I was so, she passed at the age of 90, right?
She 89. She didn't make it to 90.
Okay. Oh, she would have been 90.
Yeah, she would have been 90 in February.
Now, the reason why I want to talk about her is I attended her funeral.
Yeah.
And it was the most touching, but the humor that was in it also.
Yes.
Even down to you talking about she left a note to make sure that you put this on her and put my good wig on, don't put the whatever. Yeah. So anyway, tell me about your mom.
Okay. So even though I'm born here, my mom and dad are from Opelika, Alabama.
Okay.
So I had a heavy Southern upbringing. Mm-hmm. We've always had a garden. Mm-hmm. My mother was always canning food.
Yeah.
My mother would sew your clothes up. She would dye her clothes in a pot, and she would water it and whatever. Yeah. And she would dye her clothes, and she could get something out of nothing. Mm-hmm. She could get something out of it. So I was very Southern. I was a yes ma'am, yes sir type of upbringing. Stay in your place, you mind your business. A kid's a kid, you stay out of grown up's business. Mm-hmm. That's how I grew up. My mother was always funny. She had a humorous side. That's probably where I got it from. As my mom got older, I started straying away. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, that's a good thing, like with my granddaughter, that even when I was involved in my nonsense, I would always think, man, what my mother? I can't do that because if I get caught, my mother's going to be, she's going to be not happy with me. Mm-hmm. And then my mother watched me go through going to school, having a baby when I was 18, having to come back, the major disappointments with that, because they come from Alabama. They wanted you to be educated because they knew that was key for black people.
Right. Exactly.
I've always had the Jet magazine. I always had the Ebony magazine. We always had a magazine with Huey Newton, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Yeah. They were very pro black. Only way you're going to win is education. We came from cotton fields.
Yeah, right.
So when I ended up leaving school and getting somebody pregnant, they were disappointed in me. But that's my oldest daughter, Keisha. She's 40 now.
Wow.
She's 40 now. I had her when I was like 19 or 20. And I came back home, paid child support, went straight to the child support place, paid child support. And when she got to be around 3 years old, she moved in. She lived with me from she was 3 to 8. She left for maybe a year or 6 months. And she came back and I had custody and she stayed with me until she was 26. Wow. So Andrea and I raised her.
Wow.
But that's all from my mom. Handle your responsibility. You start something, don't quit.
Right.
My dad too.
Right.
So coming down to the end of life for my mom, she died on March 20th, 2023. Yeah, she's been dead for almost 10 months now. Yeah. The thing that you were talking about was how set up and ready to die my mother was. She had an outfit picked out in the closet. She had a note in there. The note say, "Put my good wig on me. I want to wear this. Bury me. Wait 2 days. Don't make it a long time, and don't bury me at night. Go to the drawer in the room in there, and you have instructions. Call Jason at the funeral home. Call my cousin. Call my aunt. Call Social Security. Tell Social Security I'm dead so they don't keep sending the check. And she just was ready to go. She just was ready to go. I got my stuff in the cabinet in there. Yeah, Ma, I know. So it made it easier. You could have went to my house and buried my mother because of the instructions that she had. The life insurance policy is here. Tell Jason you're not paying more than $7,000. It don't cost no $10,000 to bury nobody.
So much wisdom.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So she had it everything. And I tell you, I just went through the probate. It took she had stuff so intact that I just got her house in January and she died. It took about maybe 8 months.
Okay.
And it was not a paper that she needed that she didn't have ready for them.
Wow.
And it made me just check myself and say, I got to make sure I make it easy like that for my kids because you could have walked into that house and got those instructions that she had and you could have done it and you don't even know my mom. So that was a blessing. But she's Alabama. She's one of 11 kids. She has 9 sisters and 2 brothers. My dad has 8 sisters.
Whoa.
And 7 brothers. So I have like 27, 28 uncles and aunts. And I have like 150 first cousins. I have on both sides. And they're from the same town. They're both from the same town in Alabama. And they moved here and they wouldn't go back.
Now, the thing, too, that inspired me without even knowing your mom, it's like she not only raised you, but half of the men that were in the audience, you said were in and out of your house. Would she feed them? And that's...
it was a very active house. I tell you, my mom would she's done things like this to show you what type of person she is. My dad had a garden, always had a garden. Whenever they got the food, my mom would bag food up, and we had a freezer. But most of the food she gave away in the neighborhood.
Wow.
Take this to Miss Harrison.
Wow.
Take that to Mr. Harrison. Go take that to the Parker. Miss Parker said she wanted these collard greens. Take them greens over there.
Wow.
And like that. As she got older, she had a friend that was doing a coat drive and would get coats. And my mother would tell me, go over there and give that boy down the street. I see him outside. He don't have no jacket.
Wow.
Give him a coat.
Wow.
Give him a coat. I got coats. You got some kids at the school that need coats. Because I'm getting coats. They're giving me coats from the church.
Wow.
So I got jackets. And my mother put jackets on people for like 5 years. 5 years. She was like, go down to that boy. I said, Ma, you know him? She said, no, I just saw him standing out there.
Wow.
He's in that gray house on there. Just tapped his mother, tell him the lady at the street. And she did that. And I kind of have the same spirit as that. I do a lot with food donations and volunteering and helping out.
I saw you actually on Facebook, and you were saying, y'all better come and get these turkeys. You had a bunch of turkeys. If you don't need this turkey, go tell people we got turkeys out here. Come and get these turkeys. And I saw people walking away. So you have that heart of your mom.
Yeah, so we I live on, actually on South Marshall Street in the hood. They built some new townhouses that my wife had when we got married. I moved in there. Yeah. And I've given away, every year we do it. First we gave away 5. The year before we gave away like 200 turkeys. We gave away 50 this year, just to the people in the neighborhood. And I'm known as the man that give away turkeys and
what a blessing.
And I'm not doing it to even...
Exactly.
To get no reputation out of it. I do it because out of the love, and I wanted to show my wife that we're blessed. Yes. And it's not about what you have. Sometimes it's about what you do, because you can't take none of it with you. And people be willing. If I say I'm doing, people for some reason are willing to help me. So I got people that give me turkeys. How many you need? 100? T, you need 100? You got a truck? You need 200? You got a truck? Wow. Yeah, just come on, give it. And I've given turkeys to Weaver High for trying to make sure all their kids that went to Weaver had turkeys for a holiday. We've done a lot of things, just on the low, just doing God's mission. Yeah. Just doing God's mission. So that's all of a contribution to my mom and my dad and how they how they raised us, and it was a good raising. Now, I didn't always stay on the track, sister. That's why we're here now.
Yeah.
Because I got a certain age. I was telling you earlier that I moved into the basement when I was 13, and it had its own door.
Yeah.
So now you got to remember too, my mother's nickname was the Hawk.
The Hawk.
Because she didn't miss nothing. She read the newspaper. Was that your friend that got caught with that marijuana? No, man. Yes, it was. I know that boy name. So they say, your mother's the Hawk. She don't. I skipped school one day, and I was downtown, and she was on the city bus. And she said, did I see you in the back of a green car around 12 o'clock today? No, man. Yes, I did. I know that head anywhere. That was you in that car with them boys. It was you, and she named everybody who was in the car. So they say, man, your mother is hawking us, man. She's the Hawk. And that became her nickname. They said,
the Hawk.
Is the Hawk home? Nah, she ain't home. Okay, yeah, we coming in. Yeah. So I had a lot of action in and out of that back door. And my mother may come down and see us. How y'all doing? Good. You know you can't stay all night. Okay, Miss Taylor. Okay. And that's where they know. They would come over to my house and wait for me to get off of work. And Tracey said I could come. I come home, like, what you doing here? I told your mother that you said I could wait. So she knew what was going on. She knew what was going on. But she would rather us be there, be safe, than be out there running
crazy. And man,
crazy.
you could tell from the people that were in the service or in the audience, it was a whole lot of men.
Yeah. It was my boys that used to come through.
You were telling on people.
Yeah, I was telling on all of them.
You started me getting on them drugs. And people were laughing and sliding.
Yep, I was telling everything.
But people were laughing and crying at the same. It was the most honorable thing I've seen a man, representing his mom. And that thing has just stayed with me. And I said, if I ever got you on this program, that I wanted to talk to you about how everybody was talking about, just so proud.
The point I was making that my mother seen us go through the hard times, but she was alive to see me come back. And that was the thing she was most proud of. I was her like caretaker. And my mother would call me. She said, if I ain't got you, I don't have nobody. Now, this is a person who told me, get out your house and don't come back. Yeah, So we came full circle. We came full circle to where, she was dependent upon me. And I was there. And I'll tell you a story about that when we get to my story about how in the final days, I ended up being there more than I thought because I had got fired from my job. Yeah, okay. So I'll tell you about that when we get going.
I remember one other funny thing you said when your mom, I think she was in the nursing home, I guess. Well, she was in the nursing home.
No, she was in the hospital.
Hospital.
Yeah.
There was somebody was in the nursing home, and you said you got to always give the people, the nurses and stuff, gifts during the holidays because that make them treat people better.
My cousin's mother was in the nursing home.
Oh, maybe that's what you was talking about.
And he would always be giving them gifts. I'm like,
okay.
What you giving them gifts for? And he said, man, I got to make sure they treat my mama right. And I said, you know what? That's right. She said, she get whatever she want. Her hair be done, her nails get done. Yeah, so that's what it was about.
So that's what it was. All right.
My mother raised him too.
Really?
He became an engineer for Ford, and he actually has the patent for the halogen light on Ford Taurus.
Wow.
Yeah, but my mother raised him.
Wow.
Because she had 9 sisters. She was the youngest of 9, and she had sisters that was like probably 30 years older than her.
Special lady.
And if you see the house that they grew up in, it was not big as this. It was not big as the space that was in there.
Wow.
11, and it was 11 of them in one house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Such a special lady.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, I know you have a testimony. I know at one time, I don't know if you want to talk about it, that you had gotten sick. And we had heard Brother Tracy had gotten sick. And everybody was praying because everybody loved Brother Tracy.
So I tell you what happened. So we're going to go there.
Yeah.
I took it. This is what I believe happened. I took the COVID shot. And from the day I took the COVID shot, maybe a week later, I was feeling tired. And I just was feeling tired. So I just thought it was the shot. Then I thought, till I'm 57, maybe it's that. I'm getting older. And I just was tired. And I was tired. And I was tired. And the tired feeling never went away. So maybe a year, and I would never wear a jacket because I was always hot.
Okay.
Always, I always been kind of like hot blooded anyway.
Yeah.
But just I was always hot, and I'd be sweating. I'd be sitting here, I'd be sweating. Didn't think nothing of it. About a year later, I started losing weight. I started losing weight, so I'm down 7 pounds in a month. So I said, okay, well, I know I haven't been eating. Then I was down another 5 pounds. I was down, but I wasn't working out. And I just kept losing weight. And then anything I ate made me go to the bathroom. Or if I drank water, I would have to go to the bathroom. I would have to know where every bathroom in the state of Connecticut was, because when my stomach started to grow, I had to go.
Yeah, right.
So I ended up getting down to like 205 pounds. So I looked very nice in my clothes. Clothes, I was down to a 1X. My clothes was fitting. I was wearing the tight stuff my son was wearing. I was wearing them tight slim fits. But I looked sick.
Yeah.
My face was, I just looked, people would say, yo, what's wrong with him? You know, it wasn't like a healthy thin.
Yeah. And
for my birthday, I decided to go to the doctor. That was November 1st, 2022. I'm going to say 22. So I go to the doctor. They say, my doctor says, oh, man, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You lost weight. Your blood pressure is good. Whatever. I said, Doc, something's not right, because I just been going to the bathroom like 10 times a day. I've been, I don't get no sleep. He said, let me do a blood test. Did a blood test. Find out, he came back and he said I had Graves' disease.
Wow, what is that?
Which is your thyroid is overactive or under. So they said I had an overactive thyroid. Okay. So they found out that my heart was beating 120 beats a minute.
Wow.
For 2 years straight.
Wow.
So that's why I wasn't sleeping. That's why I couldn't eat. It's like my metabolism was always going. So they told me they could give me some medication that would slow it down, but it might affect my lungs, like make it hard for me to breathe. And I was like, I already got asthma. I don't want nothing to mess with my lungs. So I sought out a natural pathologist, so I didn't have to take the meds. But in the meantime, about 2 weeks later, they got me to an endo, and he prescribed some medication. So I took the medication for 5 days, and all of a sudden, Theresa, I went from 205 to 245 in 2 days.
Wow.
And I got to the point where it was uncomfortable for me to breathe, and I felt like I was swollen. Wow. So if you touch me here, it would leave an imprint. So the wife and I had a cousin that passed away in Baltimore. So I went down to speak at her funeral.
Yeah.
And we got all the way down there. But for some reason, I did not put my shoes on when I got in the car. So we drove all the way down there. I told the wife, she said, stop and go to the bathroom. So when I went to go put my shoes on, my feet were swollen crazy. I was like, I don't know. I said, maybe it's the circulation or whatever. And I felt really uncomfortable. Anyway, I don't know what my Spanish wife did. Spanish wife, that's important to the story too. She went somewhere and came back with bags and bags and bags of ice. And she put them on my legs. And I sat there for like 2 hours, and it brought the swelling down enough for me to go to the funeral. We rode back. I had a doctor's appointment on that Tuesday. So when my stomach blew up, I stopped taking the medication.
Okay.
Because I thought it was the med that was doing it. So I go to this natural pathologist, and he said, yeah, I can help you with your thyroid. But he said, what you telling me about your stomach, you got something going on. So he said, do you have a real doctor, a PCP? Yeah. And I said, yeah. He says, I said, you don't even believe in doctors. He said, oh, yes, I do. He said, call your doctor. And I said, I'll call him when you get on. He said, no, it's my first time meeting you. Yeah. He would not let me leave. Wow. He said, no, just call him. So I called my doctor with the voicemail. I said, I'll call him. He said, man, just sit down, relax. Just give him a call. I'll call him back. I called him back. The lady would not give me an appointment. She said, tell him you're at the doctor.
Okay.
And your doctor is saying that you need to see your doctor. So they got me the last appointment of the day. I got into there. When I stepped on the scale, I was 45 pounds heavier than I was a week ago.
My God.
So the lady was like, yo, you put on 45 pounds in like 2 weeks. So they rushed me to the back.
Wow.
Now, I had my doctor since I was 19 years old. I never saw any of the other doctors that was in his practice. He went back and got 3 of the other doctors.
Wow.
And he was like, I'll be back. He went and got 3 of the other doctors. They was pushing on my stomach. They was touching my neck. And they said, yeah, you got to go to the emergency room. So I ended up going to the emergency room. And they said, well, we got to get this fluid off of you because we got to do some procedure. It might have taken 4 or 5 days. So do you mind staying? I said, yeah, okay, I stayed. So they ended up taking me to the 10th floor. So my brother Ben, thank God for him, said, T, what floor you on? I said, I'm on the 10th floor. He said, you on the heart failure floor. I was like, no, I'm not. He said, T, you don't remember I was up on the 10th floor? I was up there for like a whole 2 months. You came every day. That's the heart failure floor. I said, Ben, I ain't got no heart failure. I'm not up there. He said, yo, well, they wouldn't have you on the heart failure floor.
Wow.
Never told me. They kept saying CHF. Yeah, CHF. That's congenital heart failure. But I didn't know what the initials stand for.
Okay.
But I was on that floor. Come to find out, I had from my heart beating fast like that, it stretched the valve. And fluid was leaking from my heart into my stomach. That's where the fluid and the weight came from. So I had got to the hospital just in time. They did 2 procedures on me. During one of the procedures, I didn't wake up. I was gone. I could see myself walking through clouds, and I could hear this lady calling me, saying, come back. Come back. When I woke up, she had the paddles in her hand. She was about to paddle me.
Wow.
Yeah, and from that day on, I just knew that it could be any time. But the flip side of that and how God works, they gave me some medication. I started taking the medication that they gave me. They said it was going to strengthen my heart. And the tiredness didn't go away, but I could do more than I ever did in the last 2 years. So I knew the medication was working. I knew it was working because they told me my heart was only pumping at 5%, at 5. And they said it needed to be at 50, like sitting at rest. Now my heart was pumping at 5%. And they said you was gone out of here. So to keep from getting a defibrillator, it has to be at 50. Or they was going to have to put something in me if my heart stopped. Boom. So I was taking the medication, and I knew it was getting better because I could walk further than I could. I was getting, more rest. So I knew it was working.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not going to have to get that. I ain't going to let them put nothing inside me. I don't want them to put nothing inside me. I take the test. My heart is at 49.
Okay.
It's at 49. That was 4 months later. They tell me the medication take 2 years to work.
Wow.
So that was 3 months later. So I go back to my doctor. He's like, man, you're like a different person. He said, I want to run some tests. He said, I'm going to send you over to your endo. So I go to the endo doctor. He says, there's no way this medication could have worked this fast. I said, you don't know the God I serve. There ain't no way this medication could have worked that fast. He said, we got to do more tests. I said, you can do all the tests. So he does another test and find out, well, I might have to cut you down on some of the medication you're on. Wow. My doctor, I will go back to my doctor. He said, I'm one of 4% of people in the world.
Wow.
They had a complete recovery from congenital heart failure. My heart completely recovered. And he said, I'm one of the 4% of people. He said, the medication does not supposed to work like that. And I said to him, it ain't the medication.
No.
It ain't the medication. It ain't got nothing to do with the meds. You don't know who I know. I'm healed. And I could have got disability. I could get the handicap sticker. I don't want none of that. I don't never tell anybody I have heart failure. And if you tell somebody you have that, whenever I go to the doctor or hospital, they just move you right to the front of the line.
Yeah.
It's perks in having that condition, but I'm healed.
Yeah.
And that's how I operate. I watch my salt intake, I watch what I eat, but I don't play like I'm sick and I'm just healed. God healed me and that's what I'm living. I'm living like that. I'm walking in that.
Yes.
So that's what it was. That was a rough year. And that was the same year that my mom was really toward the end. But I tell you what happened. I'm working my job while I'm sick the whole time until I was out in December. I go back to work. So I get cleared to go back to work after in March. I go to work. I work there for 2 weeks. A kid hits me, cracks me. Just I had no dealings with this kid. He was mad at somebody else. I walked through the door, caught me. But I started this conversation off that I'm from Blue Hills. I fired this conversation off. That's why I started it off. And, you know, I didn't hit him, but I just kind of like moved him in a way where it was a strong move. So they suspended me.
Wow.
Now I used all my sick time, all my vacation time when I was out. I didn't have any sick time. So when they suspend you with pay.
Okay.
So now I'm out of work, but I'm still getting paid, and I can go see my mom. I could cook breakfast for her in the morning, spending days with her, make sure she gets. So the whole time I was out, my mom was sick. The day that we had to put her in the hospital, if I didn't get put out of work, I would have been at work, and my mother probably would not have gone to the hospital. She would delay. She probably would not, because she's not a hospital person.
Right.
She's from Alabama. She don't believe in the hospital.
Yeah.
So, but that particular day, we convinced her to go. I was there to go to the hospital, and she ended up dying that week while I was out. The way the Lord had it worked out was I was able to do all of her burial procedures. I was able to do all of those burial things, and even start the probate process. And when I finally got through with the majority of the heavy lifting and stuff, even cleaning out the house, the job called me back and said, okay, they just cleared you. You can come back to work.
Wow.
So I was able to do that, because otherwise I would have to take the time off, but I didn't have the time because I used it all for medical. So God was working. But even crazier than that is that I went back to work for, I think, 2 months. They called me to the office and say, we need to see you at the office. I'm like, well, what they need to see me in the office for? I know I'm walking a straight line. I just came through that. They took me down and they said, well, we got to let you go. So we got to let you go for what would I do? Well, you know, the incident that you had back then, you got cleared in Connecticut, but this kid is a property in New York. New York didn't clear you. So we got to let you go. So I said, fine. I called my wife and told my wife. She said, don't worry about it. You always fall on your feet anyway. What you about to do? You about to come home? I said, yeah, I'm about to come home. When I was driving away, my telephone rang. And it was my lawyer. And he said to me, you know that case you had about 2 years ago? He said, I don't know what happened, but for some reason, these people want to settle with you. I said, what? What they offering? He said, they ain't give you what you want, but they like $3,000 off. He said, what you want to do? We can go try to get the... I said, no. Ain't right. I said, what they going to do? Give me the papers about 2 or 3 months? He said, no, if you give me the go-ahead today, you'll have the money in 6 weeks. 6 days.
Wow.
So God was still looking out for me.
Yes.
He was looking out for me. I was able to take that money and stay afloat.
Yeah.
To do some work on my mom's house to get it up where it was ready for rent. God just been riding with me the whole time, even when I know the devil meant it for bad. Yeah. But God's just been riding with me through all my mess. Because Sister Theresa, this is another story. I've been messy on this side of Christ. I wasn't only messy before, but I've been even messy on this side since I'm in the 27 years. I've been messing on this side, you know, and God's still been with me. Yeah, He's still been with me. He's still been with me, and I've been through a lot, but I don't look like it because I don't accept it. That's right. It's just a part of life, and you know, God is with me, and I'm just glad that you know I was able to come through it. I kind of. So the Lord delivered me from cocaine, alcohol, weed. One day, I didn't have no long transition. Just when the Lord spoke, the day I was getting high that day, the Lord spoke to me. And from that day on, I've been clean since that day. But I started drinking. I had started drinking about maybe 2013 or something. I had started drinking one Heineken. No, it's going to be all right, one Heineken. And then you know how the snowball is snowballs.
Yeah.
And the snowballs. I'm hanging out. I'm going out. I'm hanging out. I'm going in. I'm not in church. Boom. I watched a video of a pastor that said the Lord took him to hell and showed him hell. But then he showed him heaven too. And that day, I started researching people that had been to hell and what they saw. And I knew hell, but when they started describing the smell, the heat, the torment, the lack of no God being down there, the darkness, I was like, man, that's eternity. And I said, I didn't want to come this far and go to hell.
Right.
Still didn't fully come back. And one day I was going to the package store and I heard the Lord say this to me. It's like you crucifying Christ again. Oh. He said, as a dog returning to its own vomit. That's what you're doing. A dog returning to his own vomit. From that day, back on the straight and narrow. Back on the straight and narrow. I tried to have a true prayer life. A true time that I sit down and read the Bible. I just spend with God. I'm trying to get closer to God because I want to be able to pray and I want it to happen.
Right.
You know, if I say, I want you to be healed, I want you to be healed. That's the point where I'm at now. I'm so calm and confident that even like my actions, when I went out the house today, I went to the stop and got something to eat. I want somebody to know that I'm saved without me saying it. Yeah. Just by the way I sit and the way I conduct myself, and I don't get involved in a lot of stuff. Now, the scriptures lead not my little children astray. And probably my actions, I probably led people astray. And I don't want to do that. I want to be a good representative, a representation of what being saved is. You know, I'm not saying be perfect, but I do want to be a good representative. And that's in my house, in my home. I have a stepdaughter that I'm praying for hard. But I can't be a certain way with her mother. And try to get her to get on the two shoes. So I recognize that. So I even try to be in the house. I don't try to turn it off. Yeah. Right. When I like to see her. I like when she see me praying with her daughter, talking to my grandbaby about the Lord and us praying. I like when she sees that. I'm always talking to her about doing the right thing, but I will use scriptures and I show her in the Bible. This is what the Bible say. I ain't telling you. This is what the Bible say. You know, so I'm just telling you, I'm not trying to be the mean father, the overbearing, because I know you never had. I understand if you never had a strong man there, and then you get a strong man in the house, it could be conflict. Yeah. You know, so I'm aware of that. So I try to be loving and I try to be stern. I try to be about my business. And so I'm getting there with that. But I'm back. I'm back in church. I love being back in St. John's every Sunday. I love doing that.
I knew when I asked you to come on and if you come on that your testimony was going to be so powerful. Yeah. And because I've had people on and people be concerned about how many people going to, if your message goes out, and it affects 5 people that's going to change their lives, it is just worth it.
See, either the devil is going to use it to throw it in your face to shame you, or I'm going to talk about it and tell you how the Lord blessed me. I haven't been always clean on this side of Christ. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I haven't been. I'm not talking about nobody else.
Just yourself.
And I feel like if I'm doing inventory and checking on who's the worst Christian, it would be me. So if everybody looked at that and they worked on themselves, life would be better for a lot of other people. Yeah. I'm not trying to fix Sister Theresa. I'm not trying to fix Brother Jamil back there. I'm not trying to fix none of them. I'm trying to fix myself. Yeah. Or I'm asking God to help me fix myself, you know. But I don't worry about the next man. I'm trying to that's why I'm very transparent about my failures, because I don't want nobody to say, oh, that brother lying. I just see him the other day down at the place. You did see me there. You're right. You did see me there. I was in the club right next to you drinking Hennessy. Right next to you. I was. But I'm not now. Yeah. So I don't. I'm not gonna sit here and like I'm so holy. No. I'm a work in process. I don't play with the mercies of God. I don't play with the mercies of God. Oh, He's mercy, He'll forgive you. I don't live like that. I don't live like that. I try to be holy now. I'm trying to be, because if it's not the third quarter of my life, it may be the beginning of the fourth, So you don't have that much time. And I know you cannot earn your way in there, but I know there are some things that may disqualify you from the race, and I don't want to be disqualified.
But I want to tell you face to face how much I appreciate you before we talk about your candle business a little bit, because we got a few minutes to talk about the candle business. But I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you, because you've always been transparent as far as long as I know you. You know, everybody don't tell all their business. You know what I'm saying? No. And I really appreciate you coming on, because I know that your story is going to help.
Oh, that's what's up. I appreciate that.
It's going to help a lot of people.
I appreciate that.
And don't take much for me to get, it takes a lot for me to get full. I almost got a little bit here just listening to your testimony, because I know so many people that it's going to help.
I try to be real, and I think a lot of times some people live these lives that they don't do anything wrong, and they don't do. I have. I'm trying to live right and righter than I did, because I know the responsibility that's on me, and I think that God's put a responsibility on all of us to carry His mantle a certain way. I know I didn't do it all the time.
Yeah.
I know I didn't do it, and that haunts me to this day. And I'm gonna have to stand before God and answer to that. But what excuse are you gonna have? Standing in front of the Almighty God. You gonna say, God,
but if you ask Him for forgiveness, He's forgiven you. You got to forgive yourself.
Yeah,
I know it's in the back of your mind.
You got to stand in the gap for it.
You got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself.
So I'm not working to get into heaven, but I'm just working to stay out of hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't want to do nothing that's going to disqualify me. So I believe I have an obligation. I believe all of us have an obligation. I can't say I'm a Christian and be sitting there drinking, and I can't. If that works for other people, that's it. I can't say smoking the weed, yeah, man, I love the Lord. I can't do it. I can't, because I was delivered from that. And it's like me returning to my own vomit. That doesn't work for me. Now, you may have the grace and the mercy, some other people, to do it. And I know deliverance comes in stages for some. Mine just came.
Yeah.
So God tell me, man, I delivered you from that. You went back to that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, oh, God, your mercy is enough, and your mercy, and go back and do it. No, He condemns the one. He not condemns. He, it's a C word. That He loves. He, not condemns. It's not condemn, but chastises.
Chastised.
Yeah, so I've been chastised. So what you going to do? You chastise your father, chastise you in the flesh. Man, you shouldn't have did that. He chastised you and tell you why. Am I going to keep doing it? No, not at all. So
He has blessed you, and you're sitting up here getting ready to go to Puerto Rico.
I'm getting ready to go to Puerto Rico.
A hotel with a pool, and so
I'm ready to move. I ain't looking for no hotel. I wanna move. I wanna get out of here, man, and just go.
So before we go off, and I said, man, I ain't know nothing about this candle making thing that they had. No, I expected though. But I want to talk about before we go off.
Yeah.
Because the candle. First of all, your wife again, such a beautiful young lady,
that.
And you guys with the candles, you're doing it looked like you guys made a lot of sales.
Yeah, we did.
Even on Sunday when y'all dragging everybody out to the car.
We did that. And we went to Springfield, and we did a lot of money up there. She does a lot of shows, and I tell you, my wife is another one that the Lord has changed her, because I had mentioned some things that, as a husband, that I wouldn't go further to make somebody my wife, and she changed those things immediately. I didn't ask her to do it. I just told her, this is what, I can't connect with that. If that's how a person is living, and she's changed. Oh, I don't have no problem with that. I'm not doing it for you. I know I need to make some changes. Boom. Okay, I got that. That was good. That was an honorable thing to do. She asked me to help her. She said, I want to do candles. But you got to remember, I heard her say, I want to do this. I want to do this. So she said, can you help me? So my response to her was no. I said, because I'm very dominating. And I don't want you to do, I want it to be your company. You know, I don't want you to put the pressure on me to figure out how to do it or anything. I want you to learn, because one day I'm not going to be here. And that's why I'm 15 years older than my wife. So I try to prepare for one day I may be gone. So you need to know about certain things.
Right.
Bills, this, that, and that, because I may not be here. They say I got this thing, in my heart. So who knows? That's what they say. I know, I don't say it. But you need to know. So I wanted her to build the business. And from the day she told me, she sat there and she bought supplies and she learned and she learned. Now, once I saw that she was fully committed, that's when I would buy her little things. I saw this. Hey, what's the Amazon came here, I bought you this. Oh, thank you, I was looking at that. And I see her commitment to it. And her commitment and her dedication is she works 2 jobs. And then she makes labels. She does that. She orders. She does her thing. And so the first show she was supposed to do, I wasn't supposed to go. Her daughter was supposed to go, and her daughter backed out the last minute. And I went. And for some reason, I've been at every show carrying boxes, carrying bags, going online. And she does well, and she makes a good product. And I'm not going to say I'm surprised, but, and it even calms her. The candle making process, it calms her, and it's good for her. So it's been good, and she's been doing well. And she goes and she does her research, and she built a nice little.
So if anybody wanted to contact you to get candles or anything,
if anybody wanted to contact me, I'm telling you how transparent it is. My Facebook is Tracey Taylor, Tracey T. Taylor. So you can catch me on Tracey T. Taylor on Facebook. You can catch my wife at Janira Taylor. That's Janira Taylor. She's on Facebook. She has an Instagram that's called Scentfully Taylor. That's Scent spelled SCENTFULLY Tailored, TAYLORED, Scentfully Tailored. She's on Instagram, and she has pictures and videos, and soon to have a store. And I'm just trying to get her supply up so that when she does open a store, because I know it would sell now, I know it would sell.
Right.
So I want her to have enough supply. So that's what we're doing now every day, making 30, 40, 50 candles, making melts, bagging up ear diffusers. She's doing that, and she was doing it this morning. She's at work. In the break between work, she's downstairs making candles.
That's all right.
So that's where we are now. Yeah, we're doing that, and we just trying to stay busy. And I'm not working, and I said, well, I need to go back to work. But the Lord has not been driving me to go back to work. When I saw what they was offering, I was like, man, no. So I will be starting the hot dog.
Okay.
I'm going to bring the food cart back out again too.
Yeah, y'all used to do good.
Yeah, we should do great with that. Brother Ben. Yeah. So we're going to start that back up in the fall time. I'm just getting the business aspects of it, because I felt like this. If I'm going to be stressed working, I'm going to be stressed for myself.
Exactly.
Than stressed working for these people. So that's where I am now. But I'm still, and then it leaves me with time to pray and time to, read the Bible, or, I'm on my own time.
Yeah.
I'm not under the stress of somebody saying, you got to do this, you got to be here, you got to do this, you got to do this for me. Man. You working somebody else's dream.
Right.
At 60, I don't want to work nobody else's dream.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. So that's where I am, and I'm here to see Sister Theresa Freeman on.
Don't you be calling me Freeman. You know my name changed to Harris.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Bad. Hit you on the air now. Don't hit you.
Don't hit me. But I'm old, so once it's locked in, it's locked in.
No,
I have to unlock it.
Everybody keeps calling me Freeman. It's
okay. I gotta unlock it.
But I just want to say again, Brother Tracey, my brother.
Yes.
That I really love you. I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you being transparent. Appreciate meeting your beautiful wife. Love your your children. And I'm just so proud of you. Proud of you coming and stepping into Win TV to help somebody else.
So now for me, I just appreciate the fact that you would have me, because my story, I lived through it. It's me. So it's not, it's me. So the fact that you wanted me here,
it's going to help.
Honored. That's why I came early,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't be worried. As soon as you sent me the thing, I sent it right back to you, so you would know I'm about my business. I'm gonna come see you, and I appreciate it. Then you can have me back anytime. I want to bring back some of the kids that I touch would kind of love to come in and talk about how
that would be great.
What mentoring did for them, because I was a mentor for years.
Yeah.
And where they are now in their lives, and how the impact of mentoring is on the community. I had some kids that were rough. I had rough kids. And they're still with me now. I'm still getting them jobs.
I would love that. And this is what this program is really all about. My program.
Yes.
To me, it's like a ministry. It's to show positive things in the, we hear so many negative things. It's so easy to just, share everything that's bad. But I'm looking for positive things that can help people. And that's what it's all about. So we have kids that were having issues and they're coming back and they're doing well, that kind of stuff. I absolutely love it.
So, and I can also help you get other guests on here that's that can help you get your message out, because I like the message. And you've been here since 2008.
2008.
And some people on earth ain't been here since 2008.
But again, I thank you. Was there any final words that you want to say before I go off?
My final word would be trust in the Lord. Mm-hmm. That's trust in the Lord and listen to what He's saying. That's what my final word would be. Be kind and be nice. And there's so much ratchetness that's popular.
Yeah,
it's popular to be ratchet, and but just be nice and be kind.
Yeah,
and listen to the Lord. Trust the Lord, and you'll be okay.
Yeah,
that's my final word.
I
Was that too?
agree.
Was that too holy?
No.
Was that too?
Don't stop making me laugh. I'm trying to be serious. So, again, I thank Brother Tracey for coming on. And I thank you guys for watching. And I'm asking you, when this comes out, that you would share it. We share so many, like I said, bad things. But share something that is positive, something that's going to help people. And I appreciate you guys watching again for all these years. And have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
God, all that last